This is Morten from English. I'm here with our very good friends from KURZ. Leonard KURZ is the real name, right?
It's the real name, but KURZ is fine.
KURZ is fine.
KURZ is fine.
Markus, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Martin.
Last time I saw you, that was with this fantastic open weeks. I mean, that was not just an open house. It was not just like 1 week. It was for, how many months was it?
I would say 6 or 7 months in the end of the day. Yeah. It was longer than we expected.
But it was, to me, it was such a great idea because you took a bunch of people into KURZ headquarters.
Right.
And you made a beautiful demo room in the middle of a manufacturing, right? It was fantastic, right?
Right.
How was it from your perspective?
It was fantastic, but to be honest, I love this even more. Yeah.
You love it even more.
I love it more because it's so international and you cannot invite everybody coming, but they're coming here, so Drupa is great. Yeah.
That's true. We have a walk through your booth here. Yeah. And first we're going to talk because you have a digital space that is super interesting, something relatively new, right?
Let me just say one thing, Morten, before we start with the digital space. We have 5 key topics to talk about. And digital would be one. We start with one. One is about a virtual software to develop and to make mock-ups without using any physical tools. And this is what we call the Dream Composer. Without without going too deep into it, it shows in a very simple way how embellishment could look like on a label, on a packaging. And realistically, you can make a mock-up in a couple of minutes and convince your customer to buy your product. So it's designed for our customers, for designers, for marketing studios. This is new.
And that is, of course, something that, as you say, help your customers enabling sales because they can see how beautiful
they
things
visualize what later on will be manufactured in a very quick way.
Okay. Yeah. And this is something that KURZ has developed.
KURZ has purely developed it with an own digital department, and it's completely KURZ made, and it's focused on embellishment. That's it. Yeah.
And I guess that this is also interesting because this could lead into new software developments in the future, right?
It will for sure. Yeah. And just imagine you have customers which are mainly online printers.
Yeah.
So they sell their printed products online. Yeah. They are in need of something to visualize also to the consumer. Yeah. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah. I mean, and that makes perfect sense because in the old times where you got a sample, now everything is doing online. So here's a great example.
At least in the first step.
At least in the first step.
Okay.
Well,
let's have a walk.
Yeah. So, Markus, you talked about these 5 different segments that you have to show us here, right? I'm just wondering. When you have 5 different segments, I mean, KURZ is a quite large company, right?
You think 5 is not enough, or what would you say?
No, absolutely. But I mean, I think that one of the reasons why this is particularly interesting is that everything you do is, of course, something that serves customers and how they can make more money.
Absolutely.
How they can enable their products better than they could in the past, right?
Well, you made already my speech here, Morten.
I have not read anything, I promise you, right?
No, but if people are asking us, what are we here for? Yeah. This is exactly what you said. We enable print to be outstanding and unique. And we are standing in front of topic number 2. Yeah. How can we make print even more unique? And again, without diving too deep into it, this is a new achromatic holographic pattern and technology to create some very subtle, elegant effect on a packaging, on a label, without this former super flashy rainbow effect.
Is that also because when you, I mean, of course, you understand your market and talk to your customers. Right. Is that because you start to understand that an embellishment or foiling or metallization gets more like integrated part of a product? It still works as if it's a luxury product without being too much bling?
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for saying this. I would say it's less blink, it's less blinky. Yeah. But it transports what probably is inside the package, quality, maybe not always luxury, but something very good. Yeah. And this is what it transports.
And I guess when I see a product like this, now it was upside down, but when I see a product like this,
here we go.
Yeah. When I see a product like this, it to me it shows quality.
It does.
It shows that it is.
It's a promise.
Yeah.
It's a promise of what is going to be inside.
And this is also something I want to pick up and touch.
Here we go.
And I guess that is also part of the KURZ story, right?
This is what KURZ is for. Yeah.
I picked up of one of these just before.
Thank you for carrying this. And this is the analog technology. It works fine with a product like this. These are still embossing dies, stamping dies. And the technology here is continuously improving.
Yeah.
It looks similar to what you maybe know from 10 years ago, but it's so different today. It's getting so super fine and so super detailed.
Yeah, because I was just, when you look at it, at first, okay, it's easy, right? But when you get a little bit closer, right?
Customers are asking us, oh, are you an engraving company too? And my answer is yes and no, because in reality, this is art. We are trying to deliver art to our customers by engraving something extremely unique. Yeah, and you replicate this on the packaging or on a label or whatsoever. So this is topic number 2.
And that was super cool.
Thank you.
I think.
Okay, great.
And when you, sorry to interrupt, Markus, but I was just thinking, when you have these kind of things here, I know it's not only the third day, that makes people stop and look, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what they come to our booth. They say, hey, can you help me to make my business more profitable? Can I upgrade print? And end customers are saying, can you help me to bring attraction to my beautiful product, whether it's a perfume or a champagne bottle or whatsoever. Okay, we are landing here in
our purple area,
in
right?
purple,
Yeah.
in chapter number 3, which is economical. And I don't want to hide to you, Morten, that we are under strong competition, mainly from Asia. And we have customers who are saying, we love all your innovations, but we simply go on price. And honestly, KURZ didn't have always an appropriate answer to this.
Okay.
So first time on Drupa, we introduced a new product line called EcoFin, which is made at one of our factories in Asia, focused on a very good product, but equally important, economical. And we call it EcoFin.
If a customer, let's say, talk to your reps or talk to you and they have try to get an understanding, what is the main difference from, let's say, German-made KURZ product to an Asian-made KURZ product?
Well, sad news a little bit. Chemicals which you purchase in Asia for Asia are simply cheaper.
Okay, so the cost of doing it is simply different.
The cost of doing it is cheaper. Okay. Labor costs are lower, energy costs are lower.
So it is the total cost of production that basically makes. So the product is similar, but it's just
similar, but it's nevertheless reformulated to allow that we use those ingredients which are available there. And the product is good.
Yeah. And if you look at a product like this, because you also put on it, this is 10 micron, right?
Yeah, this is maybe already the perfect transition, Morten, for point number 4.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about it now. That's okay. Let's go to the next one, right? Okay, that's great. And of course, this is something that is new for KURZ, that you offer these, let's say, more economically alternatives to it, right? Yeah. And that, of course, will be exciting to see how the market...
Well, I can share with you already, we have introduced this certainly to key accounts already before Drupa. If they would see it here first time, they would be not so happy, yeah? And the perception is great, yeah? And so I think we are moving in the right way. We have, as a supplier, to listen to our customers. And if they say, look, we love you, but you have to have also in your product range something purely economical, we cannot ignore it. Yeah?
I think it's like people want to have great luxury products, but it's not always the product can carry to have the most expensive solution, of course. Right? Yeah, that's great. Okay. Now you make me thirsty.
Here is topic number 4, and I don't want to hide that this is also my personal hot topic, and this is about sustainability. Okay. And I had already the possibility to talk a little bit here on Drupa on different occasions about sustainability, and allow me to say this, Morten, I hate greenwashing. I love green facts. And what we show here is that KURZ has, as the first one in the entire industry, and you can see this on this wall, reduced all films from 12 micron to 10 and from 10 to 6. What maybe sounds to you okay is that we have by that reduced all the PET supplied to the market by 17% up to 50%. So the first message to the market is reduce.
And just for people to understand, because I think that is also important, because when I, as a layman, say foiling, it is actually work you don't like very much, because basically you say metallization here, right?
It is not that I dislike it. I think foiling leads to the misinterpretation that the foil is a laminate and stays on the final product.
And it does.
Therefore, we prefer to talk about a transfer. Yeah. We don't want to hide anything. We just want to say the film is used, but it's separated in the application process rather than sticking to the final product.
And that is what is important here, because the actual metallization is the same.
It's
it is
all
the
transportation.
transportation.
The carrier is less, And this has had a major impact on our manufacturing methods. It looks super easy. It was a nightmare, but we did it and we reduced carbon footprint and waste significantly.
And I have talked to customers that are using your 6 micron, and they are just like, it works super nice.
That was the positive benefit out of it, but by surprise, we realized that this product performs better at the customer.
Even better.
Better.
Who should have known that?
Yeah.
And I mean, one thing you also mentioned, and I can almost see where you're taking me now, that is, of course, a part of the sustainability promise that you're giving to your customers, right?
There we go.
Because now we get to the, I think that is something that is very important to
This is, and if you have a look on that 3D model here, it's actually the one-to-one 3D model of our factory in Germany.
Hopefully not one-to-one.
Sorry, not one-to-one. I am sorry, but it is from its shape one-to-one.
Yeah, I understand.
And we have invested highly above 10 million euro into this.
Okay.
We are ramping it up right now. Stage 1 was already ramped up 1.5 years ago. Stage 2 is ramping up now. And we can, with this factory, separate all leftover, which is still on a carrier film. We remove this and we can separate the PET film to that level that we can make so-called rPET back out of this. This is the original material for polyester manufacturing, and it can, at the moment, only on test basis, also be used to go for film again. Okay. But we believe the growth of need of recycled material will help us to make a business case out of this. For the moment, it's an investment from KURZ. It is amazing. Yeah. And for me, one of the most important topics, I don't want to blame my competition, but I don't see anybody following us that seriously. Yeah. They all have nice marketing stories. Yeah. We have facts.
Yeah, and I would say that when I see things like this, it's also like, I remember from the open weeks when we spoke to all your colleagues that are really dedicated to the sustainability. You're not just saying it, you're doing it.
No, we are doing it, and let's not make everything beautiful and green. We are in the end of the day a foil supplier, and so we have a responsibility. Yeah.
And you take that responsibility.
We try to.
Yeah.
At least with the biggest honesty we can.
Yeah.
It's topic number 4.
Yeah.
Topic number 5.
Yeah.
Technology.
Oh, you also
technology.
You're also a technology company.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. I hope you will see it.
Yeah, like you are.
And we have a great partner in the Netherlands. Yeah. I'm sure you know them.
Windfoil. Yeah, I can see that on the beautiful
you can see this.
Machine.
And Windfoil allowed us to showcase here a brand new development. There is only one of its kind of this machine available on the market yet, and this is in our factory in KURZ in Fürth. Okay. And it's a single image application, a holographic single image application for offset. Wow. And this did not exist until today.
So just tell us what does that mean when you say single?
It means that you can create effects like those, where, for instance, you get a lens or any kind of holographic elements on a sheet, inline, in offset. You can only do this today with a laminate, which is already carrying this holographic effect, and you're running an overprint.
But here you can do it in the machine.
You do it in the machine, and you don't need to use a laminate anymore because it's a transfer. Because people want to ban the laminate in this industry, but they still want to keep the optic effects. So Windfoil has done a terrific job to develop this still development. It's not completely final. A couple of people said, why do you bring it at Drupa if you cannot sell it at the moment together with Windfoil? I said, Drupa is only every 4 years. So if there is something almost new, we have to show it.
That's one thing, but I also think what is interesting to me is that when you talk about the sustainability agenda, right? And the journey that you're on, the collaboration you have with other manufacturers, I mean, it is a symbiosis. Why should they do a foiling machine if there's no foils to put on it, right?
And so it's a great partnership.
I have to say. And you're in the same culture zone, right? So you don't even have to wait 7-8 hours.
There are slight differences between Dutch and German people, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. But you both drink beer. That I know.
No, that's correct. That's correct. Absolutely. And we stay with its topic number 5, which is technology. And I broadcasted this beautiful machine here already.
You said you called it the Beast, right?
I call it the Beast.
Yeah.
I call it the Beast.
But that's not the official name, right, Markus?
No, it's not the official name. It's the MaxLiner. It's the 3D MaxLiner from our daughter company Steinemann DPE. And Steinemann has further developed the concept and is bringing, in my opinion, the most industrialized equipment to the market, our beast. And if you ask me what I think about digital embellishment, I would say we are still on the way to come. It's still in an early stage, but as more digital print will happen, the more digital embellishment will follow, and people will look for industrial solutions, reliable solutions, and this is what the Max Liner is about. Yeah.
Chica and I were so fortunate that we visited Steinman
You
PPE,
have been there,
just
you saw
before
it.
Drupa,
Yeah.
and when we saw it, it was quite amazing to see because it's large size, it's a fast machine.
It's used. It's a lot of metal. It's a little bit heavy metal here.
You
Yeah.
can say that, yeah. But it's also like a one-pass machine for both coatings and foiling, right?
Exactly.
Which is really important for converters, right? So yeah. And you actually have.
And there
this
is
is a 3D machine, but you
There's
also
a 3D
have,
machine and there is a 2D machine, and that will be the last stop for our topic number 5 technology. And this is brand new also here on Drupa.
Yeah.
And this machine here is, from its concept, a little bit different, as you just indicated.
Yeah.
We are not applying the ink here on the substrate. We are applying the ink on the film, on the reverse side of the film. Now, the beauty about this is you can put the ink on the film and cure it before it enters to go onto the paper substrate. So once you have cured it a little bit, it will not be sucked away, and the result is that you just have a very smooth and very thin surface.
I can tell you the first time I heard that from your colleague Michael Orman,
Right.
I had difficulties understanding how that is at all possible.
It is.
But then I see it and it is beautiful. I think I would take just a sample here because now we have already got some
Sure.
samples shown.
Here we go.
And this is actually super cool, right?
It is flat, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go in the Max Liner, it would be 3D.
Yeah.
But I know from my market that our customers worldwide very often love more the flat, more the soft and subtle details, rather than having it too heavy and too big. So, as KURZ, as I said, we believe digital embellishment will grow more and more, and we just show different options here that the customer is about to decide and to select. Yeah.
Last question I have before we end it, so if it's okay with you. I was just wondering, I mean, when you decided at the KURZ to go into producing the hardware as well, was that a big decision?
At KURZ, I have to say maybe in the 60s.
Okay, is that
Yeah, and we started actually in the plastic field, where we are today in automotive, plastic a dominant player.
of course, yes. So
In
that's
graphics,
different,
there was Bob's and Geets and all these big, great companies. It was no need to go with equipment. We started with digital 2008.
Yeah. So
Because
that was because there was not so much in that
There
market.
was nothing.
Basically,
There was nothing at that time. 2008, nobody had digital embellishment. And 2012, the first players actually out of Israel came. And at that time, we had our own option, and we said, we don't want to be in a rivalry here or a competition. We think this is add-on, and we all go for the same goal. We want to bring digital embellishment to the market.
And then the very last question.
Here we go.
How is Drupa for you guys?
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a little bit exhausting because we have to dance once in a while, which is great. But this is our idea, and it's on the other side very encouraging. We meet many customers which we haven't seen for such a long time. But today is day 3.
Still
maybe ask me on day 11 again. But
I would be there that day, Markus. But it was great talking to you.
Martin, thank you
very
for
much.
stopping by. Thank you so much.